Ah, it's yourself. It's you again. Okay. Just bear with me. I have to just check. Instagram's looking fine. I just have to check that Facebook is looking beautiful as well. Meditation's coming. Facebook's looking nice. Just have to check. Bear with me. Nearly there. Okay, beautiful. Great. How are you? You well? You good? All going well? It's alright if it's not, but I hope it is. I hope it's going well for you. Right, time for a bit of meditation. This isn't a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. It's part of the further emergence work I do, which I will explain about when we're finished the meditation. So if you're an experienced meditator, that's brilliant. If you could just hang on for a minute though while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation, because I've discovered that people are a little bit embarrassed about not knowing how to meditate. And I'm basing that on just people getting in touch, somewhat embarrassedly going, wow, what do you actually do? So there's lots of different styles of meditation. This is just what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I am trying to connect to a part of me that I connect to every night when I'm asleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I'm going along and I'm dreaming, and then I drop out the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep, where I've no thoughts, I've no personality, I've got no body, I've got no stories, no country, no house, no nothing. I don't even have me, because I cease to exist in the way that I normally register my existence. So when I put it all together like that, that sounds awful, like that sounds like death. Yet I love going to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that wherever I go, that's a good place, and that's where I want to go to when I meditate. I just want to do it consciously. So straight away, if you're new to meditation, don't try this lying down. If you lie down, you'll probably fall asleep, and if you don't fall asleep, you'll battle sleep, both of which are kind of counterproductive to what your intention is. So yeah, sit up. You don't have to sit in the lotus position or anything like that. I'm just sitting in a chair. If you're sitting in a chair, make sure you don't sit in a really comfortable chair that you might fall asleep in. So as I say, there's no thoughts in this place that I want to go to, so I have to figure out something to do with my mind. I have to kind of part the curtains of my mind to get into this place. So what I do is I just make an arrangement with my mind. I just basically say, can you just not think for the next 15 minutes because we want to meditate? And my mind at this stage is on board for the idea. So it's like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. I like the idea of that. I like the idea of being a meditator. I like the idea of meditation. I've read about it. I've got concepts about it. So fine. So that's good. And then to stop thinking is actually easier than it sounds, because regardless of what I'm thinking about or the content of my thought, the structure of my thoughts is always the same. It's always pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it. I'm not thinking. And then as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. Now, the practice of meditation runs parallel with the intention of meditation. So as I said, my intention is to go to this deep, mysterious place, deep, profound, calm, still, you know, all the words that I use to describe meditation, Zen-like, that place. And then the practice of meditation goes alongside it, and it starts as soon as I stop thinking. So I'll turn off the pictures and I'll turn off the sound. I'll stop thinking. Then a little bit of time will pass. I'll discover I'm thinking again. I'll go, oh, I'm thinking again. So I'll turn off the pictures and I'll turn off the sound again. Then some more time will pass. I'll discover I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again. So I'll turn off the pictures and turn off the sound. Bring myself back to not thinking. Then a little bit of time will pass. I'll discover I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking, and so on. Repeatedly bringing myself back to not thinking whenever I discover I'm thinking. That's the practice of meditation. The two go together. Now draw your attention to the distinction between the two, because it's quite easy to get the misconception that if to meditate correctly, that you can't have any thoughts at all. That your mind should just be like a big flat lake with no ripples of thought on it at all. which isn't the case. It's more of a dance between these two things. Sometimes you'll be very deep and still, other times you'll be discovering that you're thinking. And both are powerful. Like, it's very powerful when you're in that deep, still, profound, possibly eternal place. And then it's also very powerful when you're discovering that you're thinking and you're bringing yourself back to not thinking. It's just a bit more subtle, the power part. Because what happens is, if you're like me, the things I think about are all to do with me. What am I going to say to that person? Why did that person say that thing to me? What am I going to do about that other thing? And so on. So if I'm in the middle of one of those thoughts and I'm in meditation, I'm like, oh, I'm thinking. And I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. I basically make that thought, erase that thought. Indirectly, what I'm saying to myself is, hey, you know that thought that you were thinking an instant ago, that you thought was you and you were it? Well, you just made that thought disappear. So you're not that thought. In fact, you're not any of your thoughts. You're something else. So that's very powerful. And the fact that I do that repeatedly is very powerful. So the main thing is not to add to your thinking by thinking that you're doing it wrong or that you're thinking too much. There's no set right way to do it. So it changes hour to hour and day to day anyway. Some days you'll be discovering that you're thinking a lot, and other days not so much. But neither is better than the other. The main thing is, whenever you discover that you're thinking, you bring yourself back to not thinking. If you do that, you're doing great. Now, while all that's going on, I'm also letting go of tension in my body. And I have a system for that because it's too vague when I close my eyes without a system. So I scan my body from my head down to my feet, back up again. Very slowly, very gently. Anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out breath to let it go. Because it's natural to just, let it go like that. But it's also a good way to bring my attention to my breathing. Because it's quite easy to hold your breath during meditation or to stop breathing altogether. So using the out breath helps with that. Having a nice quiet room is very helpful because one of the things that triggers thoughts is noises. And so as soon as you close your eyes, your hearing will amplify. And having a quiet room just helps your mind have less triggers. And then the other thing I do to sort of help my mind is I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. So I'm going to set mine for 15 minutes. I'd encourage you to set yours for shorter if you're new to meditation. Set it for like 5 minutes and then just repeat that 3 times. Because 15 minutes can feel like a long time if you're not used to it. Work up to it, Okay. Timer didn't start. Okay. Off we go then, into the mystery. Okay, if you feel like you've gone very deeply inside, you can take a minute or take whatever length of time you need to come back from there before you open your eyes. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space, then just open your eyes. And if when you do that you sort of lose the inner space, then you can close your eyes again, reconnect. Oh yeah, there it is. Open your eyes again. Oh, no, lost it again. Close your eyes. Back and forth. You can use your eyes like a valve to balance the inner space and the outer space. So as I said at the beginning, these daily meditations that I do are part of the Further Emergence work. Further Emergence is to do with growth, specifically inner growth or growth in consciousness. Because our bodies grow from children to adolescence, and then when we become adults they kind of stop growing, but we continue to grow on the inside. And in the same way that your body goes through periods of accelerated growth when you're a kid or an adolescent, what are called growth spurts, you can go through the same thing inside, except that goes on for the rest of your life. And they can be misidentified as like not a natural thing, but there's something wrong. It would be like if you had a child and they were having growth pains, that you sort of brought them to the doctor, like, there's something wrong here. It's just a naturally occurring thing, and it passes. And it's the same with these inner growth spurts, but they can be very disorienting, can be very isolating. So yeah, these meditations are to help with that. Because the more you're more familiar with your inner space, the easier it is to go through these growth spurts. I also facilitate a Zoom group on Fridays. I'm about to start it in about 40 minutes. And that's a chance to meditate a bit more deeply, to connect with other people who are going through further emergence, to sort of see, oh, it's not just me, I'm not going nutty, other people are going through a similar thing, and there's questions and answers and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's in about 40 minutes. If you're interested in that, there's a link on the website, furtheremergence.com, the Zoom link. You're very welcome. And then I work with people one-to-one as well, and that's a combination of talking, and which is kind of in front of the scenes work, and then I do distance behind the scenes work as well to help with the process, to help ease out the kinks of the process. So yeah, if that all resonates with you, then follow along on the different channels. I'm on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, so any or all of those, or go to the website furtheremergence.com. Okay, so somebody's saying, Marnie's saying, thanks for the peace break. You're very welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for meditating with me, and see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.